निधुवाने रामाने रसरंगे मातला तो ही भगवो कौन बेला निधुवाने रामाने रसरंगे मातला तो ही भगवो कौन बेला कोटो छे तुराना मरी मरी धावता न तू यादे अवसाना तो हे जन्मे पुनः तो हे समावता सागर लहरी समाना बानाये विद्यापति शेष समाना भोय तुया बिना गति नहीं आरा बानाये विद्यापति शेष समाना भोय तुया बिना गति नहीं आरा आदि अनादि कनाटक आयसे भवतारा नवरा तुम्हारा आदि अनादि कनाटक आयसे So this is very one nice bhajan written by Vidyapati. So we see the translation. He is telling, "O Lord, completely forgetting you, I offered my mind unto the society of women, children and friends. But this experience has been just like offering a drop of water unto the burning hot sands of the beach." आप लोग कितना लोग हैं beach? It will be very hot actually. So if we just throw one drop of water to the sand, immediately it evaporates. Or so the happiness which we derive by offering our mind to the society, children, friends, that is just like offering one drop of water to the burning hot sands. How can I possibly be relieved of this great misery? And he is telling, "O Madhava, as a consequence, I am rendered totally despondent. You are the savior of the universe and are merciful to the helpless souls. Therefore, I place my hope only in you." We are all helpless souls because we got birth. What is waiting for us? Death. Death is waiting for us. So it's a helpless situation. How we can conquer death? The only hope he is telling, I place my only hope in you, Krishna. And he is telling, wandering about in a half-alive condition, I spent my life in utter disgrace. Uncountable days passed as a frivolous child and a useless old man. You saw children's? What they do? They play all the time, right? And if they are very small, then they only cry. Till the time they certainly grow, it's a big burden for the mother to grow. And a useless old man. When one becomes old, he becomes useless. He cannot walk, he cannot see, he cannot hear properly. Bodily discomfort. It's all, uncomfortable situation. I've been intoxicated by the pleasure of sharing romantic adventures with beautiful young women. जब यंग रहते हैं तो लड़के के पीछे भाग जाते हैं, जो लड़का है, जो लड़की है लड़का का पीछे भागते हैं. So like that, some little pleasure they derive, and that's how youth also goes, youth age. So he is telling, अब मुझे कब चांस मिलेगा आपको आराधना करने के लिए? Child life is gone in playing, old age is gone in all uncomfortable situation, and young age is gone in mad after woman. So he's telling, when will I ever get the chance to worship you? And he's telling in fourth line, numberless Brahmas have died one after another, whereas you are without beginning or end. समझ में आ रहा है ना आप सब लोगों को? Very simple English है. So बहुत सारे ब्रह्मास है जन्म लिया और मर भी गया. अनेक ब्रह्मा हैं. आप लोग जानते हैं ना, एक बार ब्रह्मा आए थे. So but he is telling, Krishna, you are beginning and without beginning and without end. तो भगवान का स्टार्टिंग कब है? स्टार्टिंग नहीं है. कब एंड है? एंड नहीं है. All of them take birth from you. सब लोग आपसे जन्म लेते हैं and absorbed in you. Just like the waves in the ocean. Waves आता है और फिर वापस चले जाते हैं. वैसे भी सभी लोग जन्म लेते हैं तो अनिहिलेशन हो जाए, सब लोग अंदर चले जाते हैं भगवान का शरीर में. तो विद्यापति क्या बोल रहे हैं? नाउ एट द एंड ऑफ हिज लाइफ ही इज फियरफुल ऑफ डेथ. डेथ से डर रहे हैं. सब लोग डरते हैं दुनिया में डेथ से. उसके लिए उन लोग क्या करते हैं? आंख बंद करते हैं. डेथ नहीं है. अगर उन लोगों थोड़ा आंख खोला डेथ है तो क्या होता है? भयभीत हो जाता है. तो जब डेथ आ जाता है तब सच में भयभीत हो जाता है. सो हमको जानते हैं अभी डेथ आने वाला है. हम क्या करते हैं? तो भगवान का चरण टाइट से पकड़ना चाहिए. कैसे पकड़ना चाहिए? टाइटली पकड़ना चाहिए कृष्ण का चरण. हमको पता है हम तो डेथ होने वाला है. तो अगर हम नहीं डरना चाहते हैं तो ऐसा वाले व्यक्ति के पास जाना चाहिए जो डरते नहीं है. तो वो भगवान कृष्ण है, अभय है. प्रभुपाद जी का नाम भी क्या है? अभय चरण है. तो ऐसा लोगों के पास जाना चाहिए जो अभय है. You will always remain celebrated as being the Lord of both beginning and beginningless. Now the responsibility for my deliverance from the material world is entirely yours. मुझे संसार से निकलने का जो पूरा कार्य है आपका ऊपर ही है. वो भगवान को छोड़ रहे हैं. मेरे शक्ति से कुछ नहीं हो पा रहे. तो this is very nice bhajan. So I sang after so many days. It's my favorite bhajan. So we will offer Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये. नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी. Hare Krishna. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 12th chapter. The chapter name is as Birth of Emperor Parikshit. There are so many people who take birth, right? But why it is specifically mentioned here? Emperor Parikshit is a great descendant of Puru dynasty. So this canto is mentioned as the creation. So we are in 12th chapter. Hence there is no, there is only translation for 15. So we are reciting 16th verse. Okay. Please repeat after me. Dhaivena apratighathena shukle samstam upeyushi rataha vaha anugraha arthaya vishnuna prabha vishnuna Daivena pratighatena Shukle samstamupeyushe Radhovo anugrahartaya Vishnuna prabha Vishnuna Daivena pratigathena Shukle samstamupeyushe Radhovo anugrahartaya Vishnuna prabha Vishnuna Daivena pratigathena Shukle samstamupeyushe Radhovo anugrahartaya Vishnuna prabha Vishnuna. Please recite. Daivena pratigathena Shukle samstamupeyushe Radhovo anugrahartaya Vishnuna prabha Vishnuna Devena pratigathena Shukle samstamupeyushe Radhovo anugrahartaya Vishnu, Mataji's. Devena pratigathena Shukle samstamupeyushe Radhovo anugrahartaya Vishnu Vishnu Devena pratigathena Word to word meaning, translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Daivena, by supernatural power, Apratigathena, by what is irresistible, Shukle, unto the pure, Samstam, destruction, Upeishi, having been enforced, Rataha, restored, Maha, for you, Anugraha Arthaya, for the sake of obliging, Vishnuna, by the all-pervasive Lord, Prabha Vishnuna, by the all-powerful. Translation. The Brahmanas said, this spotless sun has been restored by the all-powerful and all-pervasive Lord Vishnu, the personality of Godhead, in order to oblige you. He was saved when he was doomed to be destroyed by an irresistible supernatural weapon. Purport. The child Parikshit was saved by the all-powerful and all-pervasive Vishnu, Lord Krishna, for two reasons. The first reason is that the child in the womb of his mother was spotless due to his being a pure devotee of the Lord. The second reason is that the child was the only surviving male descendant of the Puru, the pious forefather of virtuous King Yudhishthira. The Lord wants to continue the line of pious kings to rule over the earth as his representatives for the actual progress of a peaceful and prosperous life. After the battle of Kurukshetra, even up to the next generation of Maharaj Yudhishthira was annihilated, and there there were none who could generate another son in the great royal family. Maharaj Parikshit, the son of Abhimanyu, was the only surviving heir apparent in the family, and by the irresistible supernatural Brahmastra weapon of Ashwatthama, he was forced to be annihilated. The Lord Krishna is described herein as Vishnu, and this is also significant. Lord Krishna, the original personality of Godhead, does the work of protection and annihilation in his capacity of Vishnu. Lord Vishnu is the plenary expansion of Lord Krishna. The all-pervasive activities of the Lord are executed by him in his Vishnu feature. Child Parikshit is described here as spotlessly white because he is an unalloyed devotee of the Lord. Such unalloyed devotees of the Lord appear on the earth just to execute the mission of the Lord. The Lord desires the conditioned souls hovering in the material creation to be reclaimed to go back home, back to Godhead. And thus, he helps them by preparing the transcendental literatures like the Vedas, by sending missionaries of saints and sages, and by deputing his representative, the spiritual master. Such transcendental literatures, missionaries, and representatives of the Lord are spotlessly white because the contamination of the material qualities cannot even touch them. They are always protected by the Lord when they are threatened with annihilation. Such foolish traits are made by the gross materialists. The Brahmastra, which was thrown by Ashwatthama with the child Parikshit, was certainly supernatural power. Nothing of the material world could resist its force of penetration. But the all-powerful Lord, who is present everywhere within and without, could counteract it by his all-powerful potency just to save a bona fide servant of the Lord and descendant of another devotee, Maharaj Yudhishthir, who was always obliged by the Lord by his causeless mercy. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshuram Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhisham Sapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Danvitam tam sajivam sarvaitam savadutam parijana setam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sarvana Lalita Shri Vishakam Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Sritanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktaranda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. I seek the blessings of all the Vaishnavas. Please bless me so that I can glorify Srimad Bhagavatam. So we were hearing from many devotees at ISKCON Bhiwandi. Like last class was given by His Grace Chaitanya Avatar Prabhu. Just before 2 verses before. So we see from where it is starting actually. So this is a chapter entitled as Birth of Maharaj Parikshit. We see the first verse, previous verses we see what all has happened. So there are, you all know, 2 conversations. One is between Maharaj Parikshit and Shukadeva Goswami. And in the same assembly there is another sage, his name is Suta Goswami. And he was also speaking Srimad Bhagavatam, which he heard from Shukadeva Goswami to the sages of Naimisharanya. And the head of the sages is Shaunak Rishi. So now we see here Shaunaka Uvacha Ashwatthama Pasishtena Brahma Shishno Rutejasa Uttaraya Hato Garbha Ishena Jivita Punam. That says Shaunaka said, the womb of Uttara, mother of Parikshit Maharaj, was spoiled by the dreadful and invisible Brahmastra weapon released by Ashwatthama. But Maharaj Parikshit was saved by the Supreme Lord. Who is the mother of Maharaj Parikshit? Maharaj Parikshit? Uttara. The womb of Uttara was spoiled by the dreadful and invisible Brahmastra weapon released by Ashwatthama. The Brahmastra is invisible, dekh nahi sakte. But Maharaj Parikshit was saved by the Supreme Lord. So how it was coming like this? The sages of Naimisharanya were inquiring from Sutta Goswami, and then there is a release of Brahmastra by the son of Dronacharya, Shri Radha Madhav ki, Shri Gaur Nitai ki, Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maharani ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Then there is a punishment given by Arjun, and then Queen Kunti's prayers. After that, Pandavas, they all go to the place where Bhishma Deva was lying on bed of arrows, and then Bhishma Deva was offering prayers. Then Krishna from there departures for Dwaraka. Then he comes to Dwaraka and he is residing with the 16,000 queens. All these things were narrated. The sages are absorbed in hearing such descriptions. Now they wanted to turn to the original topic, and the inquiry was made by Shaunaka Rishi. Now Shaunaka is asking, Tasya janma mahabuddhe karmani cha mahatmana nidanam cha yataivasit sapretya gatavanyata. How was the great Emperor Parikshit, who was a highly intelligent and a great devotee, born in that womb? He is asking these questions now. How did his death take place? And what did he achieve after his death? It's a great question actually. He is asking how did the death take place? What did he achieve after death? Tadidam shrotrumichami gaditum yadi manyase bruhina shraddhadananam yasya jnana madachukam. We all respectfully want to hear about him, Maharaj Parikshit, to whom Shukadeva Goswami imparted transcendental knowledge. Please speak on this matter. So we all know that Maharaj Parikshit was cursed to die in 7 days, and he leaves family, relatives, friends, kingdom, everything he leaves behind. He goes alone to the forest, and there he meets so many sages. Then he asks questions what to do before one who dies. Then everybody was giving different answers, like somebody is saying you should perform yajna, somebody is telling you should recite Vedas, so like that. Then that time Shukadeva Goswami arrives. Then he gives that knowledge to, spiritual knowledge to. You all know there are two kinds of vidyas, Paravidya and Aparavidya. Para means beyond this material world, transcendental. So he gives this transcendental knowledge to Parikshit Maharaj, and he continuously hears for 7 days and 7 nights without sleeping, without eating, without drinking water. How he was hearing, he was not even dozing. Sometimes when we sit in the class, we start looking at the time, we start looking at the people if someone is coming. So our attention sometimes get deviated. But Maharaj Parikshit is wrapped in his hearing. He was just looking at Shukadeva Goswami, not here and there. He was just looking at him, and he was hearing. So that's why they want to hear about him, Maharaj Parikshit, to whom Shukadeva Goswami imparted this transcendental knowledge. So when one hears from bona fide spiritual master, the result is that they will go back to the kingdom of God. Just by, you all know there are 9 processes of devotional service. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. So if someone execute all these 9 processes of devotional service, or any one of them or few of them, they will surely enter into the spiritual world. At least one, Shravanam. Just by chanting Hare Krishna also you can go back to the Golok Vrindavan. That is such a great benefit for humanity for this age of Kali Yuga. It's a great benediction. Just by chanting Hare Krishna, Shravanam, it's mentioned chanting Hare Krishna includes all 9 processes of devotional service. So even if someone doesn't understand Bhagavatam or Gita, are not able to worship the deities or anything, but is just able to chant Hare Krishna, that is sufficient to go back to Godhead. Suta uvacha api pala dharma raja pitrivad raj ranjayan praja nispruha sarva kamebhya Krishna padanu sevaya. So now Suta Goswami is saying, Emperor Yudhishthira administered generously to everyone during his reign. He was exactly like his father. He had no personal ambition and was freed from all sorts of sense gratification because of his continuous service unto the lotus feet of the Lord Krishna. So Maharaj Yudhishthira के बारे में बताया इधर. He is a great king, and he is completely free from all vice. He is completely free from any sense gratification within his heart, because he is rendering continuous service unto Krishna. हम भी भगवान का हमेशा सेवा करते रहेंगे, ऐसा जो भावना है इंद्रिय तृप्ति का वो निकल जाएगा. The only thing we have to do is we have to render continuous service. Continuously we should serve Krishna. So Maharaj Yudhishthira is on that platform, and he is a king. He is very exemplary. He is taking care of all his praja very well. Not that modern so-called society is just worried about human beings. That also there are so many castes, communities. But when it comes to human species, animal species, lower than human species, they don't worry much. Like we see openly, they open slaughterhouses, they are killing cows. Animal killing is very, when Maharaj Parikshit, when he was touring, he saw a man is trying to kill a cow. He took out his sword. Immediately Maharaj Parikshit, he became so much angry, he got down from his chariot, he wanted to kill him actually. Then he stops him. Who are you? Never such thing has happened in my kingdom. Nobody harassed cows in my kingdom. And first time he was seeing such incident. He was in a black, he was a black man, and he was trying to harass both cow and bull, and bull is crying, both are shedding tears, and they were both fearful actually. So such thing was, for one cow was harassed, and Maharaj Parikshit wanted to banish him from the kingdom. But now we see so many animals are harassed helplessly, but everybody is interested in their own sense enjoyment. Even the kings, even the politicians, they are not much worried about other praja. It's when the praja does not mean only human species. Praja also includes animals, trees, birds, everyone includes in that, aquatics, everyone. And Maharaj Yudhishthira is so great that he is always thinking of their welfare. He is the most perfect man in the world, because he has full knowledge of Srimad Bhagavatam. He has full knowledge, because being a pure devotee of the Lord, he has a full knowledge of how to rule the kingdom. Sampada kritavo loka mahishi bhrataro mahi jambudvipaditpatyam cha yashascha tridivam gatam. So his character, we see here, news even reached the celestial planets about Maharaj Yudhishthira's worldly possessions, the sacrifices by which he would attain a better destination, his queen, his stalwart brothers, his extensive land, his sovereignty over the planet Earth, and his fame. Like see, the greatness of Maharaj Yudhishthira is mentioned here. He has so much extensive land, his sovereignty over the planet Earth, and his fame. Nowadays people try to reach other planets by material advancement, like they send some spaceships and all. But that is not the way. Prabhupada says even to enter a country there are so many check-ins, visa and everything. They will not be allowed just like that. Then how can we expect some other planets, you can just go without any qualification? So one has to acquire the qualification to enter into other planets. So he is so qualified, he can go to any planets actually. He's so qualified. Kim te kama surasparha mukunda manaso dvija adi javrur mudam rajna kshudistasya yate tare. Sutta Goswami is telling, "O Brahmanas, the opulence of the king was so enchanting that the denizens of heaven aspired for it. But because he was so absorbed in the service of the Lord, nothing could satisfy him except the Lord's service." He has so much riches, so many lands, so much villages, nice family members, so much abundance of wealth. Everything belongs to him because the king, everything is under him. But it's mentioned here, nothing could satisfy him except Lord's service. Even on these planets, there's so many rich people, still they're not satisfied. Still we hear they commit suicides, so many things. They take drugs and so many. I have also seen many people, they ride in such big cars, but they smoke. They have so much anxieties in their life. They smoke, they drink alcohol, all kinds of things. They're completely disturbed. Their face is the index of the mind. Just by looking at their face, you can understand how much disturbed he is. Because it's mentioned here, nothing could satisfy him except the Lord's service. Similarly, our situation is, nothing can satisfy the soul if we don't render service to Krishna. That is the only thing which can satisfy the soul. Madhur Garbha Gato Veera Satada Bhrugunandana Dadarsha Purusham Kanchit Dayamano Stra Tejasa. Sutta Goswami is telling Shaunaka Rishi, when the child Parikshit, the great fighter, was in the womb of his mother Uttara and was suffering from the burning heat of the Brahmastra thrown by Ashwatthama, he could observe the Supreme Lord coming to him. Can you imagine? जब माँ का गर्भ में रहते हैं महाराज परीक्षित, तो भगवान उनके तरफ आ रहे हैं, माँ का गर्भ में देख रहे हैं। माँ का गर्भ में कैसे रहता है? अभी जब आंख बंद किए कैसे रह रहे हैं? कैसे लग रहे हैं हमको? अंधेरा, राइट? इट्स ऑल डार्कनेस। जब पावर चले जाता है, करंट, हाउ डज इट लुक लाइक? होल वर्ल्ड इज, इट्स ऑल डार्कनेस. सो इन द वूम ऑफ मदर, डोंट थिंक दैट इट विल बी वेरी नाइस सिचुएशन. जब माँ टीका खाते हैं, बच्चा बहुत फील सो मच पेन, टेरिबल पेन. कभी कभी उनका जो हाथ का इंप्रेशंस है वो दिखाई देता है माँ का स्किन के ऊपर. देन माँ फील्स वेरी हैप्पी, वो माई चाइल्ड इज टर्निंग हियर एंड देयर, बट द माँ डजंट नो द चाइल्ड इज सफरिंग इनसाइड. बच्चा बहुत दुख भोग रहे अंदर. इट्स मेंशन अहेड, इफ यू सी द चाइल्ड इज इन द वूम ऑफ मदर फॉर 7 months 9 months, राइट? 7 महीने तक ऐसे समाधि में रहते हैं. ट्रांस बोल रहा है इधर, ट्रांस मतलब कुछ नो कॉन्शियसनेस, इट्स लाइक दैट. बट द 7th month he begin to feel pains and pleasures. No pleasures, only pains. When mother eats too much tikka, so the child body is very what? Delicate, very soft. And he has to eat the same food which is supplied through the umbilical cord. Can you imagine such a small child, you have to eat tikka which is eaten by mother. And not only that, माँ का गर्भ में इतना कीड़ा रहता है, तो पूरा कीड़ा ऊपर से नीचे तक 2 महीना 7 months तक पता नहीं चलता है, काटते रहते हैं लेकिन पता नहीं चलता है. अभी कुछ mosquitoes bite, if there are few mosquitoes then they bite, then we feel so much pain, right? There are some red spots. But how can, it's all inconceivable, we cannot imagine. My Lord, it's so terrible pain it is. How we were living, हम भी ऐसा स्थिति से ही आया. बट भी फॉरगॉटन, हम भूल गए हैं अभी, क्योंकि अभी माया इतना पावरफुल है, हम ये चिमड़ी देख के पूरा भ्रमित हो जाते हैं. पूरा दुनिया माया बहुत पावरफुल है. तो such situation, but Maharaj Parikshit is a great devotee of the Lord and is a being fighter. It's mentioned he could tolerate that unbearable situation, which is, Brahmastra, so much heat is released by Brahmastra, but he could tolerate that because he is an extremely tolerant person, is because he's the devotee of the Lord. And being a great fighter, he could tolerate that. And he also saw Lord is coming to him. माँ का गर्भ में देख रहे हैं, तो अगर कोई पूछेंगे बच्चा कैसे देख सकता है? Here is Parikshit Maharaj is a great devotee of the Lord. He is a pure devotee of the Lord. He is born in devotee family. He could see him. Normal बच्चा नहीं देख पाएंगे. But some souls they will see in the womb of their mother. ऐसा बताया गया है. पिछले 100 जन्म याद करके क्या क्या किया, तो उसको देख के रो जाता है बच्चा, क्या क्या पाप किया. तो और भगवान प्रकट हो जाते हैं और भगवान को प्रार्थना करते हैं, इससे बाहर निकलो, तुरंत बाहर आने के बाद मैं भक्ति करना शुरू करूंगा, ऐसा प्रॉमिस करते भगवान को। लेकिन जब बाहर आ जाता है तो माया का प्रभाव से अच्छा रिलेटिव्स का गोद में तो ऐसा लालना पालना सब अच्छा हो जाता है बच्चा का, तो सब भूल जाता है बच्चा। तो अच्छा से पैंट शर्ट पहन के और स्कूल भी जाता है टाई, सो उधर से ही डेजिग्नेशन चालू होता है, मैं स्टूडेंट हूँ, मैं यूथ हूँ, मैं जॉबर हूँ, सो मेनी थिंग्स, सो मेनी डेजिग्नेशंस, इंजीनियर हूँ, मैं वो हूँ वो हूँ। So and that's how the life goes, and one day he becomes old, he earns money and he constructs bungalows, rooms in car, and he becomes old and he dies, and that's all. Human life is gone, and at the time of death he is taken to hell and is punished very severely for all the mischievous he has done. But here Maharaj Parikshit, he was seeing the Lord coming to him. But because he was a great devotee of the Lord, that's why Lord had appeared at once himself within the womb of his mother. तो भगवान कैसे अंदर एंटर हो गया माँ का गर्भ में? तो भगवान एंटर कर सकते हैं क्योंकि उनका पूरा शरीर अलग है। Completely, Lord is completely a spiritual personality, is completely a different person, which we should understand by reading scriptures. Because he is all powerful, so he can enter. So he sees, तो बच्चा देख सकता है, मतलब देख पाया, चेल महाराज परीक्षित देख पाया और कोई आया इधर मुझे बचाने के लिए, तो वो हेल्पलेस कंडीशन में भी देख पाया भगवान मेरे तरफ आ रहे हैं। अंगुष्ठामात्रममलं स्फुरत्पुरतमौलिनम् अपि व्यादर्शनं श्यामं तदिद्वाससमच्युतम्। The Lord was only thumb high. भगवान का साइज कितना है जब माँ का गर्भ में? थंब, इतना ही साइज है भगवान का। कैन इमेजिन? इसमें वो सब है, भगवान का चतुर्भुज है, धोती भी पहना है और अच्छा से मुकुट भी है, चतुर्भुज है, it's all, everything is there. Like yesterday we were thinking, we were eating prasad and there small ants came and Pranakishore Prabhu was telling it has head, it has abdomen also, पेट भी है, खाते हैं, पेट भी है छोटा और legs भी है small small, eyes भी है, waist is there, everything, all 9 holes are there. So it's not surprising if the Lord is assuming such a small size. He can become bigger than the biggest and smaller than the smallest. He was just thumb high, but he was all transcendental. He had a very beautiful, blackish, infallible body, and he wore a dress of lightning yellow and a helmet of blazing gold, as he was seen by the child. बच्चा देखा था उधर, आंख रहते हैं ना माँ का गर्भ में. So first there is no eyes, just a small peanut. Then slowly all the 9 holes and eyes, ears, everything forms. श्रीमद्दीर्घ चतुर्बाहुं तप्त कांचन कुंडलं क्षतजाक्षं गदापानिं आत्मना सर्वतो दिशं परिभ्रमन्तं उल्काभां भ्रामयन्तं गदामुहुं. The Lord was enriched with 4 hands. अभी भगवान का डिस्क्रिप्शन आ गया. Lord was enriched with 4 hands, earrings of molten gold, and eyes blood red with fury. As he loitered about, his club constantly encircled him like a shooting star. The club भी है. तो भगवान सबका हृदय में है. सो सबका हृदय में कैसे? एक बार प्रभुपाद जी का शिष्यराल ने पूछा, ने पूछा भगवान कैसे रहता है हमारा हृदय में? बोलते हैं ना सभी लोग सबका हृदय में भगवान है. तो भगवान खड़े रहे या सो रहे ऐसा? तो ये प्रश्न है उनका. तो कैसे ड्रा करना चाहिए? तो प्रभुपाद बोलते हैं उसको जानने के लिए आपको लाखों करोड़ों जन्म का तपस्या करना पड़ेगा. लेकिन मैं बता रहा हूँ भगवान खड़े रहे हैं. तो फोटो भी है आप लोग. हाँ चेंज किया तो बहुत अच्छा फोटो भी है. तो भगवान खड़े रहे हैं. तो खड़े रह के देख रहे हैं हम क्या कर रहे हैं, जीव क्या करते हैं. अगर कोई भक्ति कर रहे हैं उनको कॉन्स्टेंटली गाइड करते हैं भगवान के पास कैसे जाना चाहिए. अस्त्रतेजा स्वगदया निहारम इव गोपति विदमंतं सन्निकर्षे पर्यैक्षत कैतियसौ. The Lord was thus engaged in vanquishing the radiance of the Brahmastra, just as the sun evaporates a drop of dew. He was observed by the child who thought about who he was. मतलब वो सोच रहे कौन है ये, मतलब ये सब कुछ कर रहे हैं. विदूयतत् अमेयात्मा भगवान धर्म विभु मिशतो दशमासस्य तत्रैवान्तर्धदे हरि. While thus being observed by the child, the Supreme Lord, personally of Godhead, the super soul of everyone, and the protector of the righteous, who stretches in all directions and who is unlimited by time and space, disappeared once. तो immediately तो रेडिएशन को ब्रह्मास्त्र से जो आ रहे रेडिएशन, बहुत गर्मी है, वो गरम है, तो उसको निकाल दिया भगवान ने. उसके बाद चले गए. भगवान किधर चले गए ऐसा बोलते हैं इधर. भगवान उधर ही है और उधर से उनका आंख से किधर चले गए, किधर नहीं चले गए, उधर से उनका उधर ही है. समझ में आया? समझ में आया. तो उसके लिए इसको इनकंसीवेबल बोलते हैं. तो भगवान सब जगह पे है. तो अगर चाहते हैं हमको दिखाना चाहते हैं तो हमारा आंख के सामने प्रकट हो जाएंगे. अगर नहीं चाहते हैं तो ऐसा बोलते हैं माया जवनि काचनम अज्ञादोक्षजम अव्ययम नलक्ष्य से मूढ़दृशा नटो नाट्य धरे. जैसे कोई खेलता है, अगर खेलने वाला अगर कोई एक्टर का रूप में नाचता है तो उनको कोई रिकॉग्नाइज नहीं कर पाएंगे, ये एक्ट प्लेयर है, क्रिकेट खेलने वाला या कोई भी प्लेयर हो. तो वैसे भी बोलते कुंती महारानी, तो आप भी ऐसे ही कोई अगर मनुष्य का रूप में आता है कोई नहीं पहचान सकते आपको, क्योंकि आप उनको कवर कर दिए उन्होंने कर्टन से. तो भगवान उधर ही है, तो हर जगह पे है ऐसा बोलते हैं. ब्रह्मा जी बोलते हैं हर कण में है, हर कण में. अंडांतरस्थ परमाणु चेंतरस्थम गोविंदमादि पुरुषम तमहम भजामि. जब ब्रह्मा ने जन्म लिया था पूरा डार्क है, कोई भी नहीं है उनके साथ, अकेले हैं. सब जगह पे देखा अकेले हैं. तो ऐसे लोटस फ्लावर के ऊपर जन्म लिया तो पूरा मतलब वो सोच रहे मैं किधर से आया, ये उनको उनसे कोई बात करने के लिए कोई नहीं है. जब कभी कभी हम अकेले रूम में रहते कैसे रहता है, तो ऐसा लगता है पूरा अलोन है ना, हमारे साथ कोई बात. तो ब्रह्मा अकेले था तो वो पूरा भ्रमित हो गए, मतलब किधर से आ रहा हूँ. तो उधर नीचे पानी था तो स्विमिंग कर रहा था हजारों साल तक, नीचे जा रहा था, अरे किधर से आ रही है लोटस फ्लावर. तो उधर तक नीचे तक गए, नाभि भी भगवान का नाभि में भी चले गए थे. तो उधर खड़े रह के देख रहे हैं इसका सोर्स क्या है, तो नहीं पहचान पाए. भगवान के नाभि में खड़े रहे हैं, मतलब he could not understand that I am standing in the navi of the Lord because his body is material, Lord's body is spiritual body है, सच्चिदानंद है. तो his body is made up of what? Intelligence. Then again ऊपर आ जाते हैं, ऊपर आके बैठते हैं तो सुनते हैं 2 शब्द ता और पा. तो सुन के वो समझ जाते हैं अभी तपस्या करना चाहिए. तो तपस्या करते हैं तो उनको पूरा दिव्य ज्ञान सृष्टि कैसे करना चाहिए तो सब उनको रिवील हो जाते हैं. तब वो ये ब्रह्म संहिता गाते हैं. तो उसमें मेंशन करते हैं भगवान हर कण में है. भगवान गोलक वृंदावन में भी है, इधर में भी है, हर जीव में भी है. तो सब कुछ बताते हैं उसमें. तथा सर्वा गुणोधर के सानुकूला ग्रहोदये जज्ञे वंशधरा पांडुर भूया पांडुरिवौजसा. Thereupon, when all the good signs of the Jodai gradually evolved, the heir apparent of Pandu, who would be exactly like him in prowess, took birth. Then जन्म लेते हैं. Then there are good signs of astrological constellations in the sky. It's mentioned when even Krishna when he takes birth, then there will be even though constellations are not in a good conduct or some way it's not aligned, they all come together to make auspicious time. So similarly Maharaj Parikshit when he was taking birth, it's all good signs. So they were telling तस्य प्रीता मना राजा विप्रे धौम्या कृपादिवी जातकं कारयामासा वाचयित्वा च मंगलम. King Yudhishthira, who was very satisfied with the birth of Maharaj Parikshit, had the purificatory process of birth performed. Learned Brahmanas headed by Dhaumya and Krupa recited auspicious hymns. तो महाराज युधिष्ठिर बहुत खुश हो गया after birth of Maharaj Parikshit. Then he starts performing purificatory process. शादी करना भी एक शुद्धिकरण का है. If there is no marriage ceremony, what will happen? Men and women, they mix very freely, and woman will become pregnant, and the husband leaves, and woman becomes, she is helpless. She becomes a beggar. It's like a begging situation. Woman needs always protection. Then there is so much unwanted progeny in the society. Unwanted progeny in the society. Because of such kind of children, there is only havoc. Now you see, whole world, people are fighting for what? You see, people are killing animals because of what? They are all unwanted children of society. They are killing cows. Who are the people who are killing cows? Those are all unwanted progeny. They are all unwanted progeny actually. There no गर्भधान संस्कार जो जन्म लेते हैं वो पूरा अशुद्ध जीवन है. It's all lower than Shudras. So when there is no purification process, then such kind of children will take birth. Like Osama bin Laden, he was just a disturbance for society. There are such kind of it's all unwanted progeny. Now everybody is throwing bombs on other. Even in India, it's going to happen because many people are killing cows. So there is no purificatory process. The name giving to the child is also one kind of purificatory process. Even when the woman becomes pregnant, then there is called Srimantam. That is also one kind of purificatory process. All these are purificatory process meant for uplifting the consciousness of the soul. Because the soul is stuck in this body and the consciousness is very low. To uplift the consciousness, we have to perform all these purificatory processes. Otherwise, Prabhupada says, it's just like animals. Animals also, they give birth. It's an animal life. The way, even after marriage, if not following the Vedic rules and regulations, it's just an animalistic way of life. And we see the 14th verse. Hiranyam Ghamahim Graman Hasti Ashwan Rupatir Varan Pradasvannam Cha Viprebhyam Prajatirte Satir David. Upon the birth of a son, the king who knew how, where and when charity should be given, gave gold, land, villages, elephants, horses and good food grains and to the Brahmanas. तो जब जन्म लिया था महाराज युधिष्ठिर बहुत खुश हो गए और क्या क्या दे रहे थे? He is giving charity to Brahmanas, gold, land, villages. और ब्राह्मणा के पास इतना संपत्ति है, अभी काम करने के लिए क्या जरूरत है? They are not in need of money, They are not in need of all these necessities, so they no need to work. So they are happy in cultivating knowledge of scriptures and enlightening the society. So they have no time to work outside also. And there is no need because such great kings are giving all these things. What is the need for them to work very hard? So there is no need. So he gave so much, wealth. Can you imagine nowadays? Some people, they give plastic, plastic things as a gifts. If there is one child takes birth or some bouquets or, there is no gold only. Even women, there is no gold on their bodies. They also wear plastic things. It's all plastic it is. Plastic or iron or something, tin. But here we see Yudhishthira Maharaj, he gave such a wonderful charity to the Brahmanas. Tamuchur Brahmanastushta Rajanam Prashtrayanvitam Esha hi asmin Prajatanto Purunam Pauravashava. The learned Brahmanas who were very satisfied with the charities of the king addressed him as a chief amongst the Purus and informed him that his son was settled in the line of descendant from the Purus. So they inform him that he is also one of the great descendants of the Puru. So now the next verse we see, the Brahmana said, this spotless son has been bestowed by the all-powerful and all-pervasive Lord Vishnu, the personality of Godhead, in order to oblige you. He was saved when he was doomed to be destroyed by an irresistible suit. Bhagwan इनको क्यों बचाया? दो reason बताया. What are the two reasons? Spotless in translation में बताया ना? Because he He was spotless due to his being a pure devotee of the Lord. भगवान का शुद्ध भक्त है, माँ का गर्भ में रहते हुए भी वो शुद्ध भक्त है. So he is a pure devotee of the Lord. That's why he protected him. That is the first reason. What is the second reason?
Last heir.
Yeah, he is the last male descendant of the Puru dynasty. So that's why Lord wants to continue the line of pious kings. Pious मतलब पुण्य राजा है. Pious kings. जब पुण्य रहते हैं हम खुश दिखते हैं. जब पाप है हमारा जीवन में तब कुछ नहीं है, केवल दुखी दुख है. तो भक्त लोग क्यों इतना खुश है? क्योंकि उनका जीवन बहुत पुण्य है, पुण्य इकट्ठा किया है. उसके लिए भक्त लोग हमेशा खुश दिखते हैं. अगर पुण्य नहीं है, केवल दुखी दुख है. So for these two reasons, Lord Krishna saves his child. So this is such a glorious chapter, how we will see ahead also from many devotees, how Maharaj Parikshit will be well known in the world. So I will end here if anybody has any comments or questions. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की, श्रीला प्रभुपाद की.